Dear students, welcome to the knowledge series on classical set and fuzzy set. Classical set, it means that it allows the membership function or the membership of an element in the set in a binary terms. And when we talk about a fuzzy set, it has a membership with the set ranging from 0 to 1. So if you look across this classical set defined crisp boundaries, you can see this particular figure. In this figure, the x coordinate is defined with respect to several sets of element, and a square form of a particular figure is being shown over here. So in the figure, all the element which is there in the given range from the left boundary to the right boundary set, that is a crisp set because it is having a two values, zeros and 1. Also all these elements, it belongs to a crisp set A. So X is the universe discourse and X be the element. That means if the X is termed as in terms of a entire outside boundary, so X is considered as a universe of discourse where this set A is having a number of elements belongs to say as A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Whereas if any set B that is outside A, we will consider as another set, let us take it as a capital B, then it is a part of this universe of a discourse. So universe of a discourse X is a collection of a set A and a collection of a set B, where B will be having a B1, B2, B3 up to Bn. In the classical set theory, crisp set A defined as a function fa of x is called the characteristic function of A. So fa of x is defined as A, where A is the crisp set, x is the collection of elements. Fa of x is denoted as capital X is having a range 0 or 1. That is 0 or 1. That is 0 comma 1 with a curly bracket, where fa of x is equal to having a two limits 1 or 0 if it is 1 if x belongs to A and 0 if x does not belongs to A. Fuzzy set on the other hand is defined as by the vagueness or a ambiguity. It is called a set of fuzzy boundaries. So when you compare the crisp set and the fuzzy set, the difference is that crisp set has a definite boundary, whereas fuzzy is not having a definite boundary, it is having a range. So if you see here, this boundary is very sharp. So that's why it is sharp, because from the 0 level to 1 level, that rise is instant. Now if you look across the fuzzy, let me go back to the next page and show you where the same element circle is having a range between the outside circle to the inside circle, because from here if you take these two edges, it is a one circle. If you take the top edge, then it is you will feel from the top view as an inner circle. And this top to the bottom, it is not a instant falls or instant rise, rather there is a slope is existing between the top and the bottom. So because of this slope, there is a range of value is existing between the outside to inside. So this range of value is nothing but a crisp, in place of a crisp set, we put it as a fuzzy set values. So here if you try to see, a fuzzy set is defined by vagueness or ambiguous. It is a set with a fuzzy boundaries. So fuzzy boundary is nothing but these boundaries, these collections of the areas is termed as a fuzzy boundaries. In the fuzzy set theory, a fuzzy set A, normally here you will find one notations like a sinusoidal representation, one symbolic representation. That representation means that it defines with respect to the fuzziness value, because A in this form is a fixed value, but A on the top, if you give either some line or a sinusoidal line point of a notation, then we term it as a fuzzy of universe X defined by a fuzzy functions mu a of X. What is mu a of X? Mu a of X is called as a membership values. So this mu stands for the all the value of X which from the X coordinate when it is defined in the Y coordinates or mapping to the Y coordinate is called as a membership function of a set A. So mu a of X is defined as X. It is having a range between 0 to 1, that is in a square bracket 0 comma 1 is a closed interval of infinite number of a point including 0 and 1. That means it is having a range. Since it is starting from a 0 to 1, so between 0 to 1 you will be having a large number or infinite number of values for a small values of the X ranging from a B point to this vertical point of the slope top end. So mu of X is having a 3 range, that is either 1, 0 or intermediate. It is 1 if X belongs to A. That means if this part of A is a part which is related to 1, that means this X belongs to A. And it is 0, 0 means this part when X does not belongs to A, that is 1. And it is between the 0 to 1, that is at every instant you will be having some value mu A of X. Whereas at this point mu A of X is equal to 1, at this point mu A of X is equal to 0. So it is if X is partly in A. X is partly in A means it is you cannot tell X is having a definite value, but it is having intermediate set of values, that is known as termed as a partly in A. So a multi-valued logic, a membership functions of a fuzzy set is called as a multi-valued logic. The future of a fuzzy set can be valued as a discrete or a continuous. So that is the speciality of the fuzzy set, is that it is either a discrete or a continuous values. A discrete value of a fuzzy set, it is defined as a x1, x2, that is the x1 is nothing but at a given point of a crisp set x1, it is having a membership functions mu a of X. So numerator is defined as a membership function, and a denominator is defined as a crisp set. So at a given crisp set, the membership value is mu a of x1. Like at a crisp point x2, the membership value is mu a of x2. Like this, we are defining a range of values. So a fuzzy set A is defined in terms of collections of membership and x1 up to xn. That is equal to summation I on the numerator mu a fuzzy set, either you could put it on the down or up of x of I divided by x of I, where I ranges from 0 to n. For a continuous functions, this is a discrete, that's why it's a summation. For a continuous function, we go for integration. We can define 0 to what is our interval, mu a of x by x. So that is known as a crisp set and a fuzzy set, how we denote it. So here also the same, and the downside it is a crisp set values, and on the top side it's a membership values. So in the fuzzy set we are having two things. In the one is x of I and comma dot mu of x of I. So mu of a given set, suppose a mu a of x of I. Now here an example you try to see. A is defined in terms of a 0.0 by minus 2, 0.3 by minus 1, 0.6 by 0, 1.0 by 1, 0.6 by 2, 0.3 by 3, and 0.0 by 4. Now this is distributed in terms of a discrete. If it is a discrete, at a point 2, we are putting all these values on the denominator side on the x coordinate, and the numerator side we are giving the y coordinates. So at if it is a discrete, at point 2 it is having a 0 level. At a minus 1 it is having a level up to 0.3. Sorry, at minus 2 it is 0. Minus 1 it is 0.3. At 0 it is 0.6. At 1 it is 1. then it is 2 it is 0.6, at 3 it is 0.3 and 0. So you will find a discrete value. The same thing, if we have to represent in a continuous manner, if we join all these values, it becomes a continuous membership functions. So this is what we termed in terms of a discrete and a continuous terms. Now in the classical set theory, a crisp set C of x is defined as a mu C of x, where mu C of x is equal to 1 if x belongs to capital X, and if x is a and if it is 0 if x is not belongs to C. It is not belongs to C, so you should not take it as a subset. A set maps of universe X to a set of a two element. So a set maps the X into set of two elements. So you have a elements under the two category, either it is a 1 or a 0. Notation: X belongs to X. If it is like this, it is known as X belongs to X. It is easy to understand. If X is contained by A, B, C, then it is universe comprised of three elements. So these are the three elements A, B, C. So these elements, it is a crisp element. N of X, cardinality of number. N of X, cardinality Nx is equal to 3. So cardinality 3. Suppose here I take an X. Capital X having three elements, so cardinality is 3. If it is AB, it is cardinality of 3. So that is that N of X is a cardinal number N of X. Number of element of the set. AC of B, the A is fully contained in C. A is fully contained in C. If X belongs to A, then X does not belongs to B. X is a subset of B. X is full. That means X is fully contained in B. So that's why X belongs to A is fully contained in B. And if it is X belongs to A, that means then X is belongs to B. That is what it is. Now, if suppose there is an element in A, there is X is a set of X is an element of a given set A. X is an element of a given set B, and A is contained in B. Then we term that A is contained in B is or equivalent to B. So that is what we termed. Whereas here is what A is a subset of B. That is, if X belongs to A, X belongs to B. Whereas A is a subset of B. So it is not equal to B is a subset of A. A is we are defining in terms of equivalent. That is, A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. So that is what or A is contained in B or B contained in C. That is what we term in terms of this one. Power of X. So P of X is a power of X. So X such that X is a subset of capital X. That is, all the element X is belongs to capital X such that X combines or equivalent to X. Empty set is a null set. That is a phi. So these are nothing but the notations that we use it. So here it belongs. Here it is a number of element. Here it is cardinality. Here is A is a contain set of C. A is a subset or a containment of C, and A is equivalent, power of X, and empty or null set. Now let's go further. Types of set. The sets is having a definite types: finite set, infinite set, subset. So finite set is something is that there is a definite number of elements. A is contain a definite number of elements. So if for example phi x x ranges from 5 to 8. So there is a definite set of values. So capital S is nothing but a finite set is defined as in a curly bracket x such that x belongs to n, and phi is less than that is for your understanding, phi is less than x less than it. So for a given number n, there is x is having a definite values. Infinite set is having infinite number of elements. So a set A is equal to x such that x belongs to n and x is greater than 10. Greater than 10 means any number of values. Subset is written as x subset of I. That is what A subset of B, what I was telling. If every element of x is in Y, that means all element of X is there inside the Y. Now proper subset, a subset of but not equal to, written as X subset of Y. So if every element of X is an element of Y, then always X is smaller to Y. So X is less than equal to Y. So X of 1 or 2. So Y is equal to 1, 2, 3. So this is not a proper subset. So X is 1, 2, Y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this 1, 2 is there here also. So that's why X is a subset of Y. Universal set. Universal set means it's a collection of all elements. It is a collection of all elements in a particular context or application. So x1 up to x2 up to xn is in a given boundary is defined with respect to universal set X. Then it is all the element is a part of that set X. Empty set or a null set. Empty set is as null we define in terms of a phi. So it contains no element. It is generated as phi. Cardinality of empty set is equal to 0. So if you take a range X belongs to n, so and 7 less than X less than 8. So X is ranging between 7 and 8. So between 7 and after 7 it is 8. So it is just it is having X is greater than 7 and X is less than 8. So less than 8 is 7, greater than 7, X greater than 7 is the other extreme. So between 7 and 8 range, the X is almost all is equal to 5. So that is what termed as a null set. Single set or a unit set. Single single set is known as a single tone set, where you are having a range 7 less than X, 7 less than 9. So there is a range, one element is there, that is 8. So it is known as a single tone or a one element. It is not the case in this case. Equivalent set. If the cardinality of a two set elements are same, suppose A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to 11, 12 and 13. So what is the cardinality? Cardinality is number of element in a given set. So here it is 3. Here also it is 3. So mod A is same as mod B. So it is equivalent set. Overlapping set. When the two sets have at least one common element, that is known as overlapping set. So here A is equal to 1 to 6. B is equal to 6, 9, 12. Now here if you see 6 is common here and this is common. So say this is, since 6 is a common, this is known as overlapping set. Now let's see the last. Last is a disjoint set. A disjoint set is a two set are called disjoint if they do not have even one common element. In just like here it is a common, at least one is common. But if you take an example, A is equal to 1, 2, 5, B is equal to 7, 8, 14. None of the element is common in the A and B. So it is defined as A intersection B is equal to 5. So A union B is equal to number of elements in the given set A plus number of element in the B. That is what here. But if you try to take a common among these two, since the common is nothing, so it is a null set. But here what is common? If you write a number of elements in the A intersection B, then you will say that 6 is the value. So this is not a null set, whereas it is a null set. So that's why it is termed as a disjoint set. So this covers the some of the basic discussions related to the fuzzy set as well as crisp set, and followed by the some of the notations as well as some of the type of the set which is essential to understand the classical and the fuzzy set. And we will continue with this. Thank you.